The Winchester Mystery House is undoubtedly one of the strangest places in the world. But to get any understanding of the history, we must first get to know the lady of the house. Sarah Winchester, always called Sally after her paternal grandmother, was born in 1839 in New Haven, Connecticut, and married William Wirt Winchester in 1862. But her life was not one filled with good fortune. Instead, it was tragedy that took hold of her existence and would not let go. In 1866, Sarah gave birth to Annie Pardee Winchester. But she was diagnosed with an energy deficiency disease and only lived for 6 weeks. Between 1880 and 1881, her mother, father-in-law, and husband also died. Then, in 1884, she also lost her eldest sister. Sarah had developed a severe case of arthritis, and her doctor advised her to seek a warmer climate. Sarah loved her trips to San Francisco with her husband, and it was warmer than New Haven. So a 46-year-old Sarah and her 3 remaining sisters moved to California in 1885. In 1886, Sarah used part of her inheritance from the Winchester Repeating Arms fortune and purchased a 45-acre property in the Santa Clara Valley. On this property was an 8-bedroom farmhouse, which she named Yanada Villa. Construction began almost immediately on the farmhouse. Sarah hired at least 2 architects and then fired them, choosing to do all the designs herself. She designed each room one at a time, supervised the project, and sought advice from the one she hired for the job. She was known to rebuild and abandon construction if it did not meet her expectations. It was reported the 7-story tower was torn down and rebuilt 16 times. Exterior doors and windows were walled off as the house expanded, and up to 5 levels were added to different parts of the home. Then in 1906, a magnitude 7.9 earthquake hit San Francisco and devastated Yanada Villa. The 7-floor tower was completely destroyed, as were the chimneys. One entire wing was destroyed along with the 3rd and 4th story additions. Sarah had only removed the rubble, and construction resumed. Sarah Winchester passed away in 1922, and on that day construction on the Yanada Villa came to a complete halt, stopping so fast there were nails only halfway nailed into the walls. When construction stopped, the farmhouse had become an incredible mansion that included 24,000 square feet, 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 160 rooms, 52 skylights, 47 stairways, 47 fireplaces, 17 chimneys, 13 bathrooms, and 6 kitchens. Sarah's niece Daisy inherited the mansion but had no idea what to do with it, and in December of 1922, auctions the house off and its contents. It was reported that it took 6 weeks to remove the furniture from the house. In April 1923, the house is leased to John and Mame Brown. They plan to create a park featuring a backety-back railway, one of the earliest known wooden roller coasters, designed and initially built by John in Canada. Due to local restrictions and an overwhelming public interest in the house, they shifted their focus to opening the house to the public, and the roller coaster was never built. 9 months after Sarah's passing, they turned her home into a tourist attraction. Mame was the first tour guide, and they opened the garden area as Winchester Park. It wasn't until after 1924 that the name changed to the Winchester Mystery House. It was when Harry Houdini visited the house on Halloween night and left with more questions than answers that he famously referred to it as the Mystery House. It seemed that even though Sarah was gone, the house was still changing. Repairs were made, remodels done, buildings were moved and added. There was even a fire in the 1940s. In 1974, the Winchester Mystery House is named a state historical landmark, and the mansion is on the National Register of Historic Places. With all the history that is known about this location, there are so many questions left unanswered that are the true mystery here. Was she haunted by the people who were killed by the Winchester rifles? Did a psychic instruct her to build this home? Did construction ever stop? Why would Sarah cut herself off from the rest of the world and focus solely on building this house? And what was her obsession with the number 13? It seems these answers may be an even more difficult labyrinth than the building itself. But we'll try not to get lost as we walk the halls of this amazing location. We're going to find out if the Winchester Mystery House is a killer haunting, or if it's just shooting blanks.